Okay, there's a missing little girl. She's only 3 years old. This is another case out of Canada, and I've been following it since today. Today is Monday, June 16th, and I was confused. Initially, reports were she was missing since Saturday and that she wasn't reported missing until Sunday, June 15th. So a lot of us, of course, we were like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. But it turns out the latest update from police, they are saying that little 3-year-old Claire Bell has officially been missing since Sunday, June 15th, around 9:45 a.m. So she's only 3 years old. She's only 3 feet tall. She weighs 35 pounds. I just could not believe another Canadian child is missing, and it's under mysterious circumstances. I wanted to get this out quickly. So what I went is I paid to dub these news reports from French into English, because a lot of the news reports from the police, we know Quebec, a lot of French speakers there, and a lot of people are saying, oh, I wish this was in English. So I'm like, okay, let me go and dub what I can over into English. So I'm going to let you listen to those now.
Hello everyone, here's an update on the situation regarding Claire Bell, who has been missing since yesterday. You know, this 3-year-old child, a situation that is extremely concerning for us, and we are currently making efforts to locate her as quickly as possible. So I'll remind you of the facts. Around 3 o'clock yesterday, someone entered the business behind me. This is the person who had legal custody of that child, and who specifies that she lost the child and does not know where she is. So but immediately, searches were conducted in the area from here. So throughout last evening and the night, search operations were conducted with various specialized units. It was established that the last time Claire was seen was at 9:45 yesterday morning at her residence in Ville La Salle on Newmont Boulevard. Therefore, the officers from the Montreal Police Department also conducted searches in the area to try to locate her. We also received some information originating from the Ontario side. So during the night, checks were made at the Quebec-Ontario border by our investigators, but there is no search operation as such over there. Its information will verify when we pass. So that's what we have currently. Investigators from the Crimes Against Persons Division are meeting with those involved at this time, particularly the person who came forward here to try to determine what happened between 9:45 and 3 for hours. I would say that currently the picture is not very clear yet. We are corroborating some information as part of the investigators' work, and at the same time there are search operations taking place today, particularly here in Coteau-Didac. You see there are different units behind me, dog handler, drones, police on mountain bikes, police on foot, helicopters are on site, and there are other specialized units that could be added as well depending on the information we gather. Many people ask me why we didn't issue an Amber Alert. It's important to understand that the type of event we're dealing with currently doesn't meet the criteria for an Amber Alert. We don't have no information leading us to believe there was an abduction that posed an imminent danger to the child's safety or life. So you could clearly we couldn't trigger an Amber Alert because we didn't have those criteria. However, we issued a media alert, and we're counting on you to share this information throughout Quebec. More and more people know what is happening and otherwise could help us in our investigation. We also ask people nearby to check their land and buildings on their land, and if they notice anything abnormal, anything unusual, to immediately contact the police. We will go and check if it could help us. We also ask you to pay attention to a small dog, a small long-haired Chihuahua with reddish-brown fur that might be with the child. So if you see a dog wandering around, or a dog that appears lost matching this description, also contact emergency services. We will update you when we have more information to share through our social media. Share this video.
Here is an important update that could advance our investigation in the case of the disappearance of the 3-year-old child Claire Bell. I draw your attention to this vehicle, a Ford Escape. Gray 2007 registered K50FE. You can see that the license plate is not in good condition. I also draw your attention to another detail, which is this yellow sticker located in the rear window on the right side. Then where you can read baby on board or bébé à bord. Why am I talking about this vehicle? It's the vehicle driven by Claire Bell's mother, who stopped yesterday around 3 o'clock in front of a store in Coteau-du-Lac. The mother exited and mentioned that she had lost her child and didn't know where he was. So this vehicle is very important, and we are asking for the help of the... If you saw that car yesterday between 9:45 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, you are asked to contact the Criminal Information Center of the Sûreté du Québec at 1-800-659-4264.
This evening, the police are asking you to keep an eye out for the little girl who has been missing for almost 36 hours. We know that in a child's disappearance, every minute counts. However, the girl's mother allegedly waited hours before reporting her absence. She has also been questioned by the police. Yves Poirier.
Where is Claire Bell, 3 years old, who has been missing for about 30 hours? Intensive searches are being conducted on the ground. The more time passes, the more we fear for her safety and her health.
The person who appeared around 3 o'clock yesterday here in a shop in Coteau-du-Lac, we can confirm that it is Claire Bell's mother.
In the afternoon, the Quebec Provincial Police confirmed that little Claire's mother was being questioned by the investigators.
Direct our attention to this vehicle, a gray 2007 Ford Escape with registration K50FVE.
And the images of the vehicle she was driving were also made public, which traveled the distance from her home in the borough of La Salle to this souvenir shop along Highway 20 in Coteau-du-Lac. Claire Bell's mother parked her gray Ford Escape roughly in front of the store to eventually report her disappearance inside to an employee. He reportedly stated that she lost the child and does not know where she is. The SQ refuses to discuss the mother's mental health condition.
There is a sticker on the back indicating baby on board. So we asked people, if you saw this vehicle between 9:45 and 3 o'clock yesterday moving around this region, we ask you to contact the Criminal Information Center of the Sûreté du Québec.
There are other scenes of interest. North Lancaster in eastern Ontario, where the mother allegedly had family ties, and here at her residence on Newman Boulevard, where she was last seen Sunday morning around 9:45.
There really are surveillance cameras here on the side of the parking lot.
The police systematically knocked on every door of the 15 floors. The 150 apartments were thoroughly searched.
They really confirmed the identity of all the residents, then they searched everything in the apartment.
The call to the public becomes extremely important. Has that vehicle been observed anywhere? Whatever traces, clues people can provide. Note that there was no Amber Alert because the criteria such as abduction are not met.
I think it was probably the right approach. The whole media trigger made a lot of people interested. Was reportedly found dead.
A very important element that the Sûreté du Québec is revealing to us here, live in Coteau-du-Lac. You will hear the spokesperson, Jean-Raphaël Drolet, who gave us this information.
Shortly after 2 o'clock this afternoon, an animal was found dead on the side of Highway 30, very close to Highway 20. And according to the initial findings, the animal might correspond to the one that was in possession of the little girl who is missing.
We are talking about a long-haired Chihuahua found dead. Will this lead us to find little Claire Bell? We hope so. The search is currently focused at the junction of 20 and 30 in Vaudreuil-Dorion. We are heading there immediately, Sophie.
Thank you very much, Yves.
And also, I'm going to let you listen to some audio from the CBC, I believe it is, the CBC. It's in English, just to give you a few more details about little Claire. But I really wanted to get the video out, especially about the car, the vehicle. Obviously, police are focused on this vehicle for some reason.
I'm Sean Lyons in the CBC Montreal newsroom. We're watching a developing story, that of a missing 3-year-old girl. It is an investigation, a search that started right here in Montreal, but now has expanded off the western tip of the island of Montreal as well. All started yesterday morning around 9:45. 3-year-old Claire Bell was last spotted in the LaSalle area near Newman Boulevard. Montreal police started an investigation, but then the story expanded significantly. This after police say a woman who they describe as the child's guardian walked into a business in Coteau-du-Lac, west of Montreal, to report that the child had vanished and she had no idea where she'd gone. The SQ mobilized in that area, and that's where they are today, carrying out a large-scale search there. In fact, all the way down to the Ontario border. SQ says it's trying to corroborate some information. There's a helicopter in the air. There's a police command post set up in Coteau-du-Lac. Police are asking anyone with the public who has any information about Claire Bell's whereabouts to contact them as quickly as they can.
There's been no Amber Alert. Another thing that people are reportedly up in arms about, but police are saying the criteria didn't meet it. Apparently, from what I can understand, her mother is Rachel Todd. Her dad is Matthew Bell. And so I've been looking at their social media a little bit, not much on the mother's social media, but there's confusion. It happened around 3:30 p.m. Sunday, yesterday, June 15th. Reportedly, Claire's mom went into this store. She showed up at a business, and I don't even want to butcher the names of these stores, but on the St. Emmanuel. Anyway, she showed up at this business and she claimed she lost the child and does not know where she is. So I want to put all the police information, all the links below. So if anyone knows anything about this vehicle, about the situation, you can imagine I've been all over Facebook, and people are saying a lot. Like if you translate from French to English, people have their theories about what could have happened. But just like in the case of Jack and Lily Sullivan, I don't want to go out and disparage any parents or anyone. I have no idea what happened here. People are talking about it being a big weekend of F1 in Montreal. I don't know. I'll link to the Facebook group below regarding missing little Claire Bell. Plus, there's a woman named Hannah Todd, reportedly the aunt, I believe, of Claire. She made a post on Sunday, yesterday, June 15th, at 10:28 p.m. So that's like 7 hours after Claire was reported missing. It says, missing child, 3-year-old girl named Claire Bell has gone missing. Please help. Claire is white with curly blonde hair and was last seen in Montreal, Quebec. She is just a toddler, small, innocent, and deeply loved. Every minute counts in situations like this. We are begging the public, if you have any information, no matter how small, please contact the Montreal police or Quebec police immediately. Share this post widely, stay alert in your neighborhood, parks, public transportation, report anything suspicious. Claire's family is living through every parent's worst nightmare. Your vigilance could be the key to bring her home safely. Boy, I hope that's true. We just don't have a lot of details about her mom, Rachel Todd, rushing into the shop and reportedly saying she doesn't know where her daughter is. And they have, a photo of this vehicle, gray 2007 Ford Escape, that they're asking people, have you seen this? Were you around Montreal's LaSalle borough or Coteau-du-Lac, Quebec? If you were there around the times they're speaking of and you saw anything, they want the information. But then it says Claire Bell was last seen Sunday morning at her home. So then it says she was reported missing a few hours later in Coteau-du-Lac, about 50 kilometers west of Montreal. So the search is moved, but if she's last seen at her home, I feel like we're just missing details. No wonder people are just confused. It says the toddler was reported missing by her mother around 3 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday. After the woman walked into a business, the mother is being met by investigators. Now, an unnamed employee of the store who was working, she reported that this woman, the mom Rachel, drove her car into the parking lot and ran into the store in a panic. CBC News isn't identifying that employee. That person is not authorized to speak on behalf of the store. But the employee said the woman said she lost her child and couldn't remember what happened. So then another employee called 911. If I can find that dispatch, I've been trying to go through some of it. I'll add it in here. According to police, Claire was last seen at her residence near Newman Avenue in Montreal's LaSalle borough Sunday morning around 9:45 a.m. So we have a sighting of Claire, whomever saw her, her mom, dad, I don't know who, 9:45 a.m. at her residence. But then we have her mom racing into a store in a panic hours later, 3 p.m., saying, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know either. I'm just thinking of a billion different scenarios. But police have towed away that car that was parked diagonally in front of the store in Quebec. So something weird is happening. So if anyone has seen this vehicle with the baby on board sticker, it has a license plate K50FVE. FVE. If you saw that vehicle between the hours of 9:45 a.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, and it has that baby on board sticker, police want information because it could help. So Claire was last seen wearing gray pants, a long sleeve shirt, with pink around the collar. And it's sad, it's saying she's likely barefoot and she might have her little brown dog, Chihuahua, with her. Okay, unfortunately, since I filmed this, you guys have seen the update I translated. The dog most likely has been found not alive. As of this recording, they still haven't found Claire. And I may have gotten it wrong about the barefoot situation. Other reports I'm seeing say that it might have been Claire's mom who ran barefoot into that store. And police won't comment on her mental condition. I don't know what's happening here. I'm just going through the details as I get them. But the news was rushing to the scene of where this dog was found. Police are giving updates by the minute. So stay tuned. So I don't know, did the mother see Claire at home at 9:45 a.m.? And then what happened from that point to 3 p.m.? That's many, many hours in between. It's just so weird. That's a long time. That's like more than 5 hours for a little 3-year-old to be missing. And then to be so far away, well, she hasn't been sighted as of this recording. I don't know. It says police have opened a double investigation. The first is led by the Crimes Against the Person unit, so it's meant to piece together what happened between Claire's last sighting and when she was reported missing. The second is the search operation for Claire, mainly concentrated in that Coteau de Lac. Please forgive me if I'm getting these French names wrong. I've been listening and listening. Officers have set up a command post there. So they're saying residents in the area should check their yards, report anything unusual, any abnormalities. Police are also searching near the Ontario border, even though it didn't meet the requirements of an Amber Alert because it wasn't like someone was spotted, oh, she's abducted. It's not like police necessarily believe she was abducted, I'm assuming. I know I heard that in some of these news reports. There needs to be reasonable grounds to believe that there's been a kidnapping and that kidnapping represents a serious and immediate danger to the child's life and safety. At the moment, we don't have information to suggest there's been a kidnapping. So that's what the SQ spokesperson, Jean-Raphael Drolet, says. Even though the situation is concerning, there's not enough criteria to meet an Amber Alert. So people are working to find Claire. I just wanted to get these dubs out, and I'll try maybe and do more of these because I noticed a lot of people were like, oh no, here's an update, but it's in French. What are they saying? And I wanted to dub it into English, get the video out quickly so more people, English-speaking Canadians and English-speaking Americans who are trying to follow this story, those who don't speak French will know what they're saying, just so everyone can hear it over and over and get sighting of this car and figure out what happened to Claire. It's very weird. It's very strange. I hate to see children missing, and it's like we're still looking for whatever happened to Jack and Lily, and now we have this beautiful little girl, Claire, missing under very strange, mysterious circumstances. So let's close here. Hebrews 13:12 through 14. Therefore, Jesus also suffered and died outside the city gate, so that he might sanctify and set apart for God as holy the people who believe through the shedding of his own blood. So let us go out to him outside the camp, bearing his contempt, the disgrace and shame that he had to suffer. For here we have no lasting city, but we are seeking the city which is to come. Boy, part of me, of course, as always, even though Claire's been missing like since yesterday, I believe, I'm still hoping it's some kind of weird misunderstanding or some kind of miracle that this little 3-year-old girl, likely barefoot, perhaps with her dog, I don't know, where it's confusing because initially they said a woman who's responsible for her. So we were like, are they talking about the nanny? But now they're saying she was reported missing by her mother. But I don't know if it was her mom who was watching her when she went missing. I don't know if she lives with her mom and dad. I mean, it says Matthew Bell is with Rachel Todd. They got engaged October 28th, 2021, and it says they're married. It's just a really confusing case. I don't understand why initially police were saying a woman responsible for her or a person who's responsible for the child, like rushed into the store and reported her missing. And I don't know where the news initially came from that she was really missing since Saturday. So that's what perked everyone's ears up. Like, wait a minute, this child has been missing for 2 days and she wasn't reported missing until Sunday. But it turns out, I believe that's false information. Maybe some stuff is getting lost in translation. Maybe cops are getting a plethora of stories. I don't know what's happening here. I just hope Claire is okay. It's kind of hard to piece things together because sometimes, especially Canadian reports, we don't get as much information as those crimes or missing persons cases that happen in the United States. But the search is like moved. And it's like so much going on here. I just wanted to get the facts out. Anyway, I'll follow up. I'll try and perhaps dub more updates as we get them, just to get the news out, just to figure out if police get any leads or tips on what happened to Claire, and pray she's safe in Jesus' name. It's just a very strange case with all these weird questions and seemingly changing stories coming out. But I'll keep following up. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.